If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. In what could become one of the most shocking and polarizing moves of the NFL offseason, a massive wave of speculation is sweeping through league circles. Justin Jefferson, arguably the most electric wide receiver in football, today may have closed a stunning deal with the Cleveland Browns. Yes, the same Jefferson who's been torching defenses in Minnesota could be pairing up with Deshaun Watson to form a potentially unstoppable offensive unit in Cleveland. While nothing is officially confirmed by either camp, just yet multiple insider sources are hinting that a backdoor agreement may have already been reached or is dangerously close. Fans, analysts, and rival GMs are all buzzing about how the Browns, a franchise often criticized for underachieving despite talent, may have just turned the NFL landscape on its head. And if this rumor holds any truth, we're talking about a seismic shift in the AFC. A Jefferson-Watson connection would immediately rival the league's top QBWR duos, injecting life into a franchise desperate for a playoff run. But how did this even happen? What does this mean for the Vikings? And is Cleveland truly ready to handle a star of Jefferson's magnitude? Let's dive deep into this wild scenario that's lighting up the league. Word around league insiders is that Jefferson had grown quietly frustrated in Minnesota. Despite historic numbers in his first few seasons, there were signs he wanted more. More stability at quarterback, more national spotlight, and frankly, more wins. The Vikings' QB carousel and defensive inconsistencies left him carrying too much of the burden week after week. Sources say that as early as mid-season last year, Jefferson's camp was quietly exploring alternative destinations, not necessarily requesting a trade, but assessing the market. The Browns, hungry to solidify their offensive arsenal, reportedly began laying groundwork for a potential deal months ago. They stayed quiet, knowing how explosive even a whisper of such a move would be. Still, those inside the building claim conversations were ongoing, with Watson himself even rumored to have reached out to Jefferson. Could this have been player recruitment in motion? Possibly. And in today's NFL, we've seen star players flex that kind of influence more and more. One thing's for sure, if the Browns have actually pulled this off, it's a franchise-defining moment. It signals that Cleveland is not only willing to spend, but also determined to contend in an AFC packed with powerhouses like the Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals. It's a bold, brash move, and possibly a brilliant one. So how would this even work? Financially, that's the big question circulating among cap experts and rival front offices. Jefferson is expected to become the highest paid wide receiver in league history, a deal north of $35 million per year according to some estimates. The Browns are already tight against the cap, with Watson's massive contract eating up a huge chunk. But clever restructuring and backloaded contracts have become the new normal in the league. Cleveland could front-load a signing bonus push cap hits down the line, or even renegotiate with other key players to make room. There's also talk that the team is preparing to offload or restructure a few defensive contracts to accommodate Jefferson's arrival. One NFC executive even speculated that the Browns might be building something akin to a super team on offense, hoping the sheer firepower will outweigh any defensive limitations. And let's not ignore the potential domino effect. Other free agents enticed by the opportunity to play with Watson and Jefferson might take discounts to join the party. Suddenly, Cleveland becomes a destination. If true, this is more than just one acquisition, it's a strategy shift. It's Cleveland swinging for the fences in a win-o mode the city hasn't seen in decades. From a football standpoint, the fit is mouth-watering. Jefferson's route-running precision, elite separation, and contested catchability make him the kind of receiver that elevates a quarterback instantly. And Watson, love him or hate him, still has one of the strongest arms and improvisational skill sets in the game. The potential for explosive plays is off the charts. Picture this: Jefferson stretching the field, Amari Cooper working underneath David Njoku as a seam threat, and Nick Chubb assuming full health, pounding defenses into submission. It's a matchup nightmare for any defense. Opponents would be forced to pick their poison every Sunday, cover Jefferson deep and Chubb eats, stack the box and Watson has a field day over the top. Add in Kevin Stefanski's West Coast influence system, which he ironically shares roots in with the Vikings, and it all starts to make sense. The Browns' offense could become layered, unpredictable, and lethal. NFL defenses already stretched thin. By spread concepts and motion-heavy schemes would have a tough time adjusting. And for Jefferson, this could mean even more single coverage, a dangerous scenario for any defensive coordinator. If the rumor is true, Cleveland just unlocked a whole new level of offensive threat. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Jefferson leaving Minnesota would be monumental. He's not just a player, he's the face of the franchise, a fan favorite, a marketing machine, and a generational talent. For the Vikings to let him walk, whether via trade contract stalemate or quiet exit, would send shockwaves through their locker room. It would mark the end of an era. One source close to the situation hinted that the Vikings were hesitant to commit quarterback money to a wide receiver, especially with their own QB situation still uncertain. If true, that financial caution might have opened the door for Cleveland to pounce. Still, it's hard to imagine Jefferson leaving quietly. He's known to be competitive, passionate, and expressive. Could this be a power play, or has he simply outgrown his surroundings in Minnesota? The Vikings will surely face harsh questions from media and fans alike if this move happens, especially if Jefferson flourishes in Cleveland and Minnesota regresses. And let's not forget the message it sends to other players stars want to win now, and they'll go where they feel that's possible. That's today's NFL, for better or worse. Of course, the Deshaun Watson factor adds layers of intrigue to this rumor. Watson's time in Cleveland has been rocky with inconsistency on the field and an enormous cloud off of it due to past legal issues. His play hasn't yet justified the massive contract, but the Browns remain committed. Bringing in Jefferson could be the ultimate no excuses move. It would give Watson arguably the best receiver he's ever played with. Yes, even better than DeAndre Hopkins at his peak, and set the table for a redemption narrative. Some believe this is precisely what Cleveland's front office wants, to silence critics by going Allen on talent regardless of perception. And it makes sense. The AFC is a gauntlet with elite QBs everywhere. To compete, you need weapons. You need difference makers, and no receiver shifts coverage like Jefferson. If Watson can't thrive with this kind of talent, serious questions would follow. But if he does return to Pro Bowl form, Cleveland might just become a dark horse contender. That's the gamble. That's the story. Two stars, both with chips on their shoulders, uniting to prove the doubters wrong. It's compelling, it's risky, and it's exactly what rumors are made of. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Naturally, NFL Twitter has exploded over the past 24 hours with speculation. Hashtags like Jalor Jefferson to Cleveland and Drew Wood Browns super team are trending. Some fans are celebrating, others are in disbelief. Viking supporters in particular are mourning what feels like the beginning of the end. But one tweet, quickly deleted, may have poured gasoline on the fire. A verified insider posted, "Watch the Browns, they're closer than people think." Within minutes, theories erupted. Photoshopped images of Jefferson in a Browns uniform started circulating. Even Watson liked a post hinting at something big coming. Now that could mean anything. But in the world of sports rumors, nothing is ever a coincidence. The Browns organization has remained silent, issuing no official comment. Neither has Jefferson or his agent. But sometimes the lack of denial is its own kind of confirmation. It's a waiting game now as the NFL world leans in to see what happens next. If it's all smoke, it's a fascinating what if. But if there's fire behind this smoke, then we could be on the verge of witnessing one of the boldest moves in franchise history. Stay tuned because this one isn't going away anytime soon. For Cleveland, this could be the biggest moment since their return to the league in 1999. Yes, they've had playoff appearances, breakout stars, and glimmers of hope. But this, if it happens, is different. Justin Jefferson is a top 3 talent. At his position, he's young, he's marketable, and he's hungry. His arrival could do more than change the depth chart. It could shift the entire culture. Suddenly, free agents view the Browns differently. Opponents prep for them differently. Networks give them more primetime slots. The national conversation changes. Deshaun Watson gets a true WR1. The fan base long tormented by mediocrity and bad Luck finally has something to believe in. This isn't just about football. It's about narrative, about momentum, about rewriting identity, and perhaps most importantly, it's about timing. The AFC is crowded now, yes, but windows in the NFL close fast. The Browns seem to know that. And if they've really secured Jefferson's services, they're signaling that now is the time. No more waiting, no more building. It's go time. That mentality is infectious, and if it spreads through the locker room, this team could become something very, very dangerous. Even for Jefferson, this could be a strategic masterstroke. He's already proven himself as an elite individual performer. He's racked up the yards, the touchdowns, the accolades, but the missing piece, postseason glory, legacy, championships. And like it or not, Minnesota hasn't looked like that kind of team. Not recently. Cleveland, meanwhile, has pieces. Maybe not a complete roster yet, but serious potential. If Jefferson believes in Watson and Stefanski, and in the offensive scheme, this move could elevate his legacy faster than staying put. It's a gamble, of course, but the rewards could be massive. Imagine Jefferson torching the Ravens in a division clash or lighting up the Bengals under the lights. These are the moments stars live for. And if Jefferson wants to cement himself alongside names like Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Larry Fitzgerald, he needs a playoff run. He needs to win when it matters. Cleveland might not be the obvious place to do it, but maybe that's exactly the point. Jefferson's always defied expectations. This could be his boldest move yet. If it happens, it's not just a signing. It's a declaration. A warning to the rest of the league. That number 18 isn't here to play around. Now we wait. Until a deal is confirmed or denied, the NFL world will hold its collective breath. Rumors like these rarely fade quietly. And this one feels different. Not just fan fiction or clickbait, but something with traction. Real whispers from real sources. Teams are watching, fans are dreaming, and players are talking. If it's true, Jefferson to the Browns could ignite one of the most fascinating storylines of the next NFL season. From headlines to highlight reels, this duo could change everything. But if it's false, even then, the rumor itself says something powerful that Cleveland, for all its past struggles, is finally seen as a place stars might want to go. That's progress. That's evolution. Whether this deal happens or not, the Browns have inserted themselves into the spotlight. And if they do land Jefferson well, buckle up. The AFC just got a whole lot more interesting. And football fans everywhere from Cleveland to Minnesota and beyond won't be able to look away. Stay alert because one tweet, one Schefter bomb, or one leaked photo could confirm it all. Until then, the buzz only grows louder. Could it be real? Could it actually happen? Maybe. Just maybe. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!